Rooster Teeth podcast this week brought to you by I'm Gus.
I'm Gavin.
I'm John.
I'm Bernie.
Welcome back, John.
Thank you for having me, guys.
You jumped in there just in time, and I'm Gus. It's a little sarcasm.
What do you mean he jumped in there?
He was a little deer in the headlights.
So I thought it was. Sometimes I forget what production I'm on. I'm not gonna be that douchey. No, I thought I was in always open mode, and they cut to each person as you say your name, and so I was like,
You're even in the middle.
I was freaking out, looking for like where my camera was, and then my camera didn't change. So then I just had to say my name.
You're number 6.
It's me right there.
Yeah.
Hi.
All right, which production are we on now?
Sunday driving.
All right.
Man, I read a harsh critique of the latest Sunday Driving with Kumail Nanjiani.
That was critique?
It was scathing, I would say.
Okay.
Scathing.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Which news source did this come from?
I believe this was a Reddit comment.
Okay.
No.
The scathing comment was,
Could go either way.
like, it's always funny to me when you go to read about a video that's how long? An hour?
No, the Sunday driving. It's like 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah, if that.
Yeah, it was way off.
We didn't have it for very long.
So it's a big long video, and there's a discussion about it. Most places when you read about, like, people are leaving comment on the video, it's about the video. I find lately on Reddit, if there's a lengthy discussion about something, it's about the thumbnail or some very specific thing, like how it was delivered. And this one was, the scathing comment was, Sunday Driving, this came out on the site on Saturday, and then it came out on YouTube on Monday. I was like, ooh, that's flat.
Someone
Canceled, Gavin,
needs to get on
canceled.
that. I hope someone gets fired over this.
Canceled.
What a fucking disaster.
I think that's
what are they
actually.
complaining about?
I think
So everyone, it's really on the viewer. You put the video out on Monday, it's on them to wait until Sunday.
Or, Gus, Saturday,
you're only allowed to watch it on
Yeah.
Sunday.
if you average them, you get
right
Sunday.
between
Saturday
those
plus
two
Monday
things.
divided by 2 is Sunday.
I like your hand motion of average.
That's
We
it.
average it.
You get all these numbers, and then you go woof in
So
the middle.
it was a fake, like a joke complaint.
I don't think it was.
I doubt it.
I think that
I'm sure
person
it
was
was
mad,
real.
dude.
People set their flag on even worse mountains than that.
You say funny enough or funnily enough?
Funny enough.
Funnily.
Funny enough.
I heard someone say funnily enough.
That's too many.
That's like taking a funnel.
Right.
Funnily enough. It's like,
Funnily enough. But without context, if I said funnily enough, you
I would say you just had a stroke.
really?
Yeah.
monosyllabic.
Monosyllabic.
There it is.
Too many syllables in it.
Syllabic.
No, it's not.
It is.
Monosyllabic.
Nah.
Of all the words you could add an extra
Antarctica.
syllable to.
It's already got like 50 syllables.
I know. That's
Like the
what
word
he means.
abbreviation is one of the longest words we have. It's ridiculous.
That's ABBR. You said.
Oh man.
Like lisp.
Yeah, lisp was the other one.
I don't like that. I don't like when people make up abbreviations. I don't like that. Like,
That's the official abbreviation for abbreviation,
Why
isn't
don't
it?
you like it when people abbreviate stuff?
I don't stop it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I also don't like when people immediately start abbreviating things that they like, but that aren't, in my opinion, popular enough to have an abbreviation.
Oh, so people need to go through you for approvals and
No,
abbreviations?
I'm just saying there's got to be
All
a
right,
waiting
everybody,
period.
if you'd like to
Example.
get, if you'd like to get your abbreviation approved, just go at Bernie. Let him know what you'd like to abbreviate.
Abbreviation has official abbreviations. I looked it up. That was one of them.
ABBR?
Yeah, ABBR,
It is,
ABBRV, or ABBREV, which is way too long.
Who authorized that? There's got to be like a committee somewhere that clears these things.
the Queen of
Even
England.
stuff that I like when people say, "Oh, I really liked in A&H when this happened." I'm like, "A&H? What the fuck's A&H?" And then from context, I'm like, "Oh, it's A New Hope." It's just like this is like people use abbreviations like
That's more of an acronym.
that is an acronym. You're right, that's an acronym, but they're abbreviating the way they're saying A New Hope.
Sometimes, speaking of...
It is an acronym.
I
You are
discovered
correct.
a great acronym that I like. I'm playing through Dark Souls 3 for the first time. Let him have his little giggle.
Isn't an acronym an abbreviation?
Yeah, it is.
It is. It is.
It's a special kind of
It's
abbreviation.
a special kind. It's really abbreviated. It's down to just the letters.
Well, that's what abbreviations
That is
are.
also, and I realized I said that. I'm aware of the things I say.
We're on RT Podcast, just so you know.
You know what my response to that shitty criticism on Reddit? It was Sunday in Australia.
Oh, there you go. So we made that for the Australian viewers.
There you go.
There you go.
And then you drove on the wrong side of the road for the Australian viewers as well. What were you doing in Dark Souls 3?
Oh no! So I'm playing Dark Souls 3 for the first time, and I'm with those kind of games. I get really obsessed with making sure that I'm leveling the right way and getting the right weapons that are a good build for whatever character I am. I kind of get overwhelmed with that stuff, which is great when you're playing an older game. There's a lot of information out there for you to find, a lot of wikis that have already like compiled all this information. And so I'm playing as a cleric, and I wanted to know what's a good early game cleric weapon to stay with. And so there's this sword that is the Astora short sword. And then there's a way that you infuse the weapons that you put in some sort of gem. And there's one that's called raw. But on the wikis, the way they shorten it is it's a raw ass. That's it. It's just a raw ass is a really good first early weapon for clerics.
Get a raw ass.
What is that short for?
It's Astora short sword.
Okay, Astora.
And so, but it's raw infused.
Astora short sword, ASS.
Yeah. A good old raw ass.
A raw ass cleric.
That's a good weapon.
Who was it? Bungie got in trouble, right? Was it the
was
PC
Bungie,
release of Halo?
It was Halo 2.
Halo 2.
Halo 2.
Halo 2 had some files with the extension .ass, and it wasn't really available. I think you had to go in and edit the registry or look at one of the files. It had like a very small thumbnail of one of the developers showing his ass.
Mooning that was the error image that it would give you. You got an ASS error, and he thought it'd be funny. Internally, he put his picture of his butt in there, and it was in the code that they released in the retail version. So they had to go and update the ESRB rating for the game. And I believe Halo 2 was already mature,
right?
But they had to update it with now to include nudity. On the
Come on, just take it out.
Well, they couldn't do anything because it was easier to put stickers on everything.
Or, since you've already got the rating, you double down and just throw a lot more nudity into it.
What? Yeah, with Halo 2, patch it with like all this nudity in it. All the grunts are nude.
Dick out.
You got the rating, you might as well
take
just lean
advantage of
into it and really get people like smoking over
That
this
guy
game.
must have been fired for that, right?
Let's see. Halo.
I want to say his name was.
file.
I didn't know this guy personally. I don't know if he still works at 343 or at Bungie when they moved away from Microsoft. I want to say his name was either Mikey or Mickey.
I'm trying to look it up.
Okay, and it was his butt. Hey, speaking of Dark Souls, why do all Japanese games use the same font?
Pardon?
Go on.
If I look and you show me the end screen, like you died or whatever, maybe not you died. That's specific to Dark Souls. But like even going back to like Street Fighter 2, like, you know, mission complete, you know, when you like, or stage complete, when you bash the car and stuff, it's the same like serif font, I feel like. Like I can identify if a game came from Japan
Is it like
simply by the font.
easier to read for Japanese people?
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, what font does Japanese text use?
we have super common fonts ourselves that are like used like why do those Americans keep using Helvetica all over the place? Why
Maybe
is
that's
Impact,
a better way to say that.
Why is Impact
Why
everywhere?
do we use a different font than Japanese companies? Why does the Western world, seems weird to say that when Japan's to our west, but why does the Western world use a different style of font than the Eastern world?
Why do you never see Japanese symbols in Comic Sans?
Maybe you do.
Charlie.
Maybe you do.
His name's Charlie?
Charlie.
My memory's
Charlie's
failing.
ass.
Gus, it's over.
Charlie Go or Gao?
And he mooned the camera, and that was the
AKA known
default.
as Chucky.
Chucky. That was what it was. Not Mickey. Chucky. That's what it is.
And what happened to him?
I don't think he got fired. I think everybody's like, oh, that sucks. Shit happens. What are you going to do?
Ass happens.
Send out the stickers. Then it's some guy at GameStop who's got to put all the stickers on all the copies of Halo 2.
They had another problem. Bungie also had another problem. What was it with Myth 2?
Was it Halo 2? Did we get it right? Was it
Yeah,
Halo
it was
2?
Halo 2.
Okay.
Which was exclusive to Vista. They had that problem with Myth 2 where they had to update all of the games. They had to pull it off the shelves because the uninstaller was broken and would delete everything on your hard drive.
Right.
What?
It's like if you
very
change the
thorough
default
uninstaller.
installation location of that game and you installed it to the root directory of your C drive and then you uninstall it, the uninstaller was fucked up and would delete everything on the C drive instead of just that folder.
That's not good.
Yeah, they had to pull it off the shelves, update it, and then put a sticker on it that said like now updated to version 1.01 and then put it back out on the shelves. Because that was before internet updating.
That's like when you're watching those like spy movies and they put something into the computer that wipes the drive that they need to get all information off. That's all you got. You just got a nice little drive wiper there ready for
Except
you.
it always has a skull and crossbones that it leaves behind. That's it.
And it's sometimes
To
it
let
laughs.
people know that, although I would probably do that, honestly. Because I have so much fun playing video games with Andrew Pinton, and I have probably not played video games with him in like 5 or 6 years. Like going
He
back,
got banned.
he got banned because of me.
He got banned because of you.
From what?
Tell that story?
Wait,
From
what?
Xbox
Pan
Live.
got banned from Xbox Live.
What did
Yeah.
you do to him?
Nothing. I influenced him in apparently a very negative way.
He got
You're an
banned
influencer.
for being nice.
He was.
What?
So for those of you who don't watch Achievement Hunter, Andrew Panton is a regular contributor to Achievement Hunter.
He's
Lovely
amazing.
fellow.
So creative.
If you only ever watched Rooster Teeth podcast years ago, he's the kid that I would play Saints Row multiplayer with, and we got jumped in.
The take your lumps?
Like we started playing Saints Row multiplayer probably 12 months after Saints Row was out. We were joining that community very late. There was like 1 or 2 matches taking place, and as soon as we would join, all the other people in our gang, which is our team, would just immediately kill us and then start the match. And we thought, okay, that was weird, but they did it like 3 or 4 times. We complained at them and said, hey, can we just play the game? And like, no, take your lumps. It was like we were getting jumped in to the Saints Row community. And we did a whole RTA about it. That's Andrew Panton. Lately, we've been playing Sea of Thieves because he got back into it because of the anniversary.
How did he get banned?
I'm
getting into that.
just about to tell you.
He jumped forward to Sea
I
of
know, it's
Thieves.
confusing.
He
It's
jumped
all over
forward
the
to Sea
place.
of Thieves.
No, because he just got banned. He literally, like this last week, he got banned. And apparently it's my fault. So he's been playing, and there's this thing called on the Xbox app and in the Xbox console, there's a really great feature called Looking for Group. If you want to play stuff like Apex or Sea of Thieves, stuff where you're way better off having a group, and it's not a group of fucking randoms that are just like booting up the game for the first time. I'm not trying to gatekeep here, but those people really suck. You can go to this thing called Looking for Group and say exactly what you want to do, which is important for Sea of Thieves. Like, hey, I'm going to do this. So you don't get a crew, like 4 people on a boat all trying to do something different.
Overwatch has that, and there's 2 now.
Do they really? It's a great feature. What people have started using it for in Sea of Thieves is, hey, I'm logging off. I've got a ship. You guys have played Sea of Thieves, right? You gather resources like cannonballs and planks and
Just handing off
bait.
ships.
So you just basically, hey, I'm logging off. I got a 2-person sloop. It's got 80 cannonballs on it, 100 plus planks, a bunch of bait. Anybody want it? You join their party. The other person logs off, and that ship just keeps going.
That's cool.
But yeah, it's a cool way to do it. So I did that, and I guess when I made a Looking for Group post, because Andrew's on my friends list, it popped up on his alerts, and he said, oh, I'll play with you. I said, actually, no, I'm logging off. You can have my ship. He goes, oh, that's really cool. I'll do that. I go, I'd love to play with you though, Panton, because I haven't talked to you in a while. We should definitely play together. He goes, great. He goes off and plays it. I end up playing with him this weekend, and we had a great time. But he told me he got banned because he did the same thing. He said later on he like tried to give away, I think, the same boat, and he said, I've got a 2-person sloop. It's got this on it. Who wants it? Come get it. And Xbox immediately said, can't post this. It's offensive.
Yeah, apparently his message was giving away a sloop loaded with supplies and active Athena quest. Who wants it?
Why was that offensive?
He was told his post contained offensive words, and to edit it, he tried again, having no clue what was offensive, so he removed the word sloop because it rhymed with poop.
Well, that's what he went with?
I would do that. That's
And instead
logical.
of sloop, he put 2-person boat. Was still offensive. He removed who wants it, thinking that maybe it's aggressive. And then he removed Athena, wrote Pirate Legends. He was like basically transplanted the whole message. Still was seen offensive, and then he was automatically banned for like trying to be offensive.
24 hours. You got banned.
Did you ever figure out what was the offensive word?
Never figured it out.
Apparently, he was
There was
then
a trial that he could go to.
he was then given 2 options. One was case review, where they'll like look at it again, and the other one was admit that you've made a
Plea
mistake,
bargain.
and you get a suspension reduction.
A plea bargain.
Case review was grayed out. It was just like it doesn't have the option, so he basically just had to be like, "Sorry, for nothing."
Sorry, wait, but he doesn't even know what he
He
said.
doesn't know what he did. He was.
He's also
He
just
didn't
like
seem mad. He just seemed really confused by it.
I'm confused by it.
Yeah.
A similar thing happened to somebody else. Greg Miller got banned from E3 next year by the ESA.
He got that overturned.
Did he? Actually,
Yeah.
now I wanted to go to E3 in support of the ESA. Greg was going to get banned.
felt like they were actually for once getting rid of the riffraff of E3.
That Greg Miller,
Yeah.
get rid of that fucker.
I didn't realize they banned anyone from. I mean, it didn't. I didn't realize that they have like any type of enforcement for that kind of stuff there.
They gotta.
I think Greg should sue and say, why are you letting someone impersonate me on your show floor? Don't you have better security than this?
Did he figure out what it was?
No, I don't think he thinks somebody just faked his badge because and I didn't keep up with this, but from what I saw, he even had the last video to air during E3.
It's like video proof that he hadn't given his badge
until the
away.
very end of the convention. It was proof that he had a badge because he's on the show floor. And it was like literally like he's doing a professional video stream. I'm not sure if it was an official E3 stream, but it probably was something at least close to that. And he was the last person to appear essentially on screen for E3, and then he gets banned.
I hope they're ready
weird.
for next year where 500 Greg Millers register and show up.
What do you think is the chance that Greg Miller will just let that go? He's already got like his whole next E3 planned, I'm
What I'm
sure.
saying is they handed him a golden ticket with this situation.
Can we hire Greg Miller impersonators
We totally
and
can.
flood E3 with a bunch of people who look like Greg Miller?
He's a very generic white boy. It can't be that hard.
How dare you? See, the thing I'm concerned about, Gus, is that then we would have to meet a lot of people who act like Greg Miller. I don't know if
Eric, can you take care of this for us?
Eric, can we show the clip of the people that I found on Reddit that somebody posted? The title of this was "These Guys Know How to Have Fun," and I've watched this probably like 10 or 15 times since I saw it on Reddit.
Oh,
You guys from the beginning. Gotta show from the beginning because it pans over to these guys.
Here we go.
Look at it's this party with hot people and they're all in an infinity pool.
Are they like
they're making noises.
they're making fart noises
Yeah.
on the belly button?
They just keep going.
Dude, that's sheer delight. That's sheer delight.
Those guys are having a fucking blast.
I
dude.
want to hang out with those guys.
I love those guys. Who's the user, Reddit user that posted that? I can check here. I'll give the person, make sure they get proper credit for that, so you can go award them.
So good. I love just pure enjoyment things on the internet.
User, I can't even pronounce this. FZOH7. Fazzo7. Hope that's not an insult.
No, not Fazzo 6 though. That guy's a jerk.
Yeah.
Make sure you get it right.
Fazzo 1 through 5 were taken. Fazzo. FZOHSE. Anyway, you got it.
Did you hear about that woman who got locked on a plane, an Air Canada plane?
What?
Wish you can get off?
I guess it was a late night flight. The plane landed and she dozed off while they were landing.
Been there?
And she woke up to a dark plane that was empty.
Nightmare. Nightmare.
And,
Dude, I'd love that.
I would be wondering if the
that.
plane
No,
had
you wouldn't.
crashed and I was
A dark
dead.
plane's
She said
tough.
she woke up, she got her phone out to call someone, started a FaceTime conversation with someone, then her phone immediately died. And then since the plane was off, there was no power. She said she kept trying to plug her phone in, but nothing would power it. She had to break into the cockpit to find a flashlight.
She broke into the cockpit?
That's her words. Or, broke into the
Make
cockpit.
this a movie.
Got a flashlight.
Make this a movie.
Then
This is a
figured out how
horrible
to
movie.
open the door. Opened the door, but then, the plane door's up in the air. Who knows
30
how
feet.
Why
high
did
it
she
is.
just use the emergency exit and slide down?
Well, that's any door is an emergency exit.
I think it
on
has
a
to be
plane.
armed, though.
True.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
yeah, it does.
So
Actually, no, this isn't-
she stood there with a flashlight waving, like trying to get someone's attention till like a baggage handler in a cart was driving by and noticed her. So I guess like the airline, it was Air Canada. They're still reviewing it. They said there's procedures to make sure that doesn't happen, but it happened to her.
She gonna get flights forever.
They should give her that plane.
She
That's
gonna
her plane.
What, she fell asleep on a plane? What's the harm? Honestly.
What if you couldn't get out? He just said locked
Don't
in a
say,
plane.
what if you couldn't get out? She got out. She's fine. What, she could sue and get a plane? She fell asleep on a plane. She woke up on a plane.
How dare?
Give her the plane.
It's a funny story to tell your friends. You're going to sue over that? Come on.
No, you're not going to sue. Just
I,
going to take
didn't,
the plane.
I don't mean sue, but like get some.
I would like to go to Canadian claims court, though. They're like, rule for the plaintiff. And the defendant just goes, sorry.
Yeah.
And the plaintiff goes, you should be.
No, the
That's
plaintiff
it.
turns back, and goes, "No, I'm sorry too." And it's just
I should have
this
woken up sooner.
back and forth of stories.
But really, I mean, what do we think is going to happen?
Well,
We're
it could have
here.
been dangerous.
It could have been, but it wasn't. Everything could be dangerous.
Like, what if there was no air?
Like if there's a 18-wheeler going down the road, it goes for maintenance and it finds, oh, your fucking brakes were shot on this 18-wheeler. Does everybody on the road get to sue the 18-wheeler that didn't cause an accident because it could have been
But, like,
dangerous?
does it let oxygen into the plane when it's off?
I doubt the plane's airtight, dude.
Well, I don't know. Maybe he's asking her, is it not airtight?
It still leaks. No.
Also,
Then what does it mean when they pressurize
Well, how do
it?
they keep...
When you're at pressure, it can push it from the inside.
So
It
that's what
helps
I'm saying.
seal
It's
it more.
like
Yeah, when you're on
when
the ground.
when it's active.
Yeah.
There are systems that do pressure.
also, they don't have big
Right.
oxygen tanks feeding everybody the entire time they're up there.
You
No.
just pull down one of the masks and you're fine.
Yeah,
Oxygen
a
concentrator
12-hour
yourself.
flight, half the plane would be air tanks.
Did you notice that when we were on that really small plane recently, they
Yes.
said if the cabin depressurizes, oxygen masks will be handed out.
You'll get one.
Yeah, it's like, we'll give you one. I was like, what?
You take one. It's a basket. You take one and you
Take
pass
your
it on.
mask.
How big of a flight was it?
All right, like 50 less people. All right.
Oh, God.
I'm sure that would be a very smooth procedure
Yeah,
to
it was
handle
really small.
50 out.
It was really small.
There would be no one fighting for oxygen tanks. It
Plane
would not.
crashed yesterday.
What?
Did you see that?
For
In the Dallas area?
Yeah, I did see that.
All right. There's another thing that happened. Anyway, I'll talk to you about it off. We can't talk about it yet. We can talk about it hopefully very soon. Maybe next podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what you're talking
Yeah.
You mean at RTX this weekend?
What's that?
At RTX this weekend?
At RTX this weekend. Yeah. Are we gonna? So, what's the story with RTX for the podcast? Are we gonna record and release this podcast?
Will we? I can't
Yes.
talk. I just had a stroke. We will release the podcast from RTX next Monday.
I like Eric's ventriloquist gig there.
Yes. Thank you, Eric, for you had the you stepped in.
Dude, if I
assist.
woke up on an empty plane, my big concern would not be getting off of the plane because I know what's going to happen.
No, I know exactly what you're going to say. And it's what I would do as well. Once I got past the horrors of it, I would be like home aloneing the
Yes.
plane.
I would do all the shit on the plane I
Yeah.
never get to do.
It's my plane now.
what would be
Welcome
the
to my
first-
plane.
what's
She
for the
gets in the
next 2
cockpit,
hours.
she finds a flashlight. I'm up there like flying World War II missions going pew, 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 pew. I'd be clicking every fucking switch I saw.
love the idea
I'd be
that-
making PA announcements. Oh, I'd have a fucking
It'd be
blast.
great.
You'd have to figure out how to turn the plane on.
I
I
just
like
shout
the
loud.
idea of the baggage people walking by the plane and the flaps are like,
It'd
and the
be
lights
so
like-
good. I'd be doing laps. No, you never get to run up and down a plane. Like,
Exactly.
it'd be so good.
Exactly.
Well, you can do it. It's just really frowned
You,
upon.
yeah, you could do it. What?
Well, that's the game. How many laps can you do? You
Before you never fly again.
Compete. With everyone
I
you
had
know.
a landing. I went to-
Unlimited Pringles. That's all I'm saying.
And
That's
peanuts.
all.
Pringles?
Yeah, they sell the Pringles on the plane. They sell them $3. Low can.
$3 for one of
okay.
these?
Yeah, $3 for
Nah.
how much is that?
Did you see the giant
No,
Pringles
I'm saying
cans?
it's too expensive.
Too expensive.
Did you see the giant Pringles cans?
Let's not talk about giant foods.
They're not giant Pringles. It's a bunch of regular.
I said giant Pringle cans.
No,
a bunch of little Pringles.
It's a whole other thing.
we got a problem with Toblerone. So
Toblerone.
Monosyllabic.
I'm going to pronounce it Toblerone until I die.
I had a landing in Paris last week.
Wow.
That was violent. We hit the ground so hard, and usually pilots kind of don't really tell you anything except when everything's going well.
Right.
The guy like pulled up to the gate and he was like, "Ooh, sorry about that landing. Sun was in my eyes." I was like,
No
I was like, "Why'd you
shit.
tell us that?" I assume it's all automated, and he's fine. He's just like, "Woo." He was like, "Oh yeah, it's really bright," and we just slammed into the ground.
Do you think he didn't know the ground was already there?
I don't know, but like the woman next to me screamed. Everyone was going nuts. But it was like
What'd you do?
Wait, she screamed during the landing or at the announcement?
on impact.
It would have been great if he makes the announcement. And then she was so horrified, she screamed.
Yeah, it was top 3 most hard landings I've ever had.
What? There's a whole type of sunglass that's named after aviation. Why don't they have those in the fucking
Also,
cockpit?
why are you having everyone land into the sun? That can't be good for any plane.
It's all based on the wind.
You're right.
Well, sure.
And so you have to land in the sun because that's where the wind comes from. It comes from the heat from the sun.
We all know that's true.
Solar wind, solar wind.
How's it work?
Push. It like comes across space and then lands on Earth and the wind takes off.
That's where wind comes from.
I was
God,
in,
I want to Bill Nye the Science Guy show with you.
Dude, this is a very Gavin question. I've always wanted to go where wind starts. It has to start somewhere. It has to start somewhere.
Do you think in your life you've ever been where wind starts?
I don't know. It's a change in differential and pressure.
I love that's one of my favorite Shel Silverstein books. I love where the sidewalk ends and where the wind starts. That's my
It
favorite.
has to start somewhere.
Have you ever broken wind?
Yes, that's.
Then you've been where wind starts.
I have been where wind starts. I don't know if that's officially
No,
qualifies
he broke
as wind.
it.
Oh,
that's where
it stops.
wind ended.
That's when you're facing against the wind current.
well, what is the range of wind?
How far will it go?
How far will
God, I'm gonna
something
type that
wind?
into Google. What?
Like can a
Because
wind
surely it's just
start?
it's like little micro gusts from where you were. Like a tree isn't blowing, and then was it like going all the way across the world, or was it just like build up right there and hit you?
My dad told me a fact, a scientific. I don't know if it's a fact, a tidbit. Who knows if it's a fact? It'll probably be disproven right now. But the volatility of the gaseous state is such that that's the longest fucking thing.
That's a paragraph of a
Somebody
comment
showed a paragraph in chat.
Don't get
One
distracted.
guy out of 3
Nope,
that I
he's
was
gone,
finding
he's
was
gone.
talking about how they should detect and steal the loot from the others and myself and the other crew members before I put that guy in the brig. This guy's like telling a story about Sea of Thieves. This guy's writing a novel.
That's the only reason Bernie got distracted. It's a Sea of Thieves
No,
thing.
it's
Well,
like
now
this-
everyone's going to write paragraphs.
I told you
maniac.
this is why I didn't want the chat because
Eric,
this
I'm
happens.
with you. I'm with you.
I like
Look
the
at
chat.
this.
Hey,
Mike Ann is telling us
gonna
that
remember what
cockpit
story it
windshields
was?
are not tinted.
did you know this episode of the Rooster Teeth podcast is brought to you by...
Do you want to do?
Okay,
The chat hates Eric. They get to stay.
so the
I'm with you, chat.
Feeling is
dispersing,
mutual, chat.
the volatility of the gaseous state.
Is such that if
Wow.
every breath that you take, there's
Every
a
move you make.
there is a molecule of air from basically every other breath ever taken. Like
What?
when you take a breath,
That is insane.
that's what. Listen, this is my dad told me as a tidbit. It's probably been disproven like a bajillion times since then. But the volatility of gas in the atmosphere is such that like
What about
they
fish?
dissipate so quickly. What's that?
What about fish?
I don't know about fish. I don't think fish breathe. Here's a question.
Breathe. What
goes-
the
it
fuck
goes
are you
through,
on
like,
about?
do-
No,
Whatever,
no,
they
let
don't
him go.
breathe.
Let him go.
They
Let
breathe.
him go.
They extract oxygen from water from their gills. Let me ask you this question though. This is a debate I actually had with a friend of mine. He didn't like the phrase "drink like a fish" because fish don't drink. I disagree with that. Because
what
his
is drink?
argument was they're in the water, they don't need to drink. It's like we're in the air, but we need to breathe. So do fish drink? Go debate. You cross talk. Point counterpoint.
I'm gonna say yes.
Well, the act of drinking would be: does water go in their stomach?
Right, and then process through their
And
body
they
that
eat
way.
underwater, so I would say yes.
That they do-
They can't eat food without eating water.
That taking moisture out of food or something from their stomach where the food goes and nourishes their body.
Yeah.
That's the act of drinking.
Can I? Oh, do you want to answer? Or do
Did
you
you
want
go
me
to the internet?
I found the real answer.
Here's the problem.
I have another
This is the problem with the
question.
internet. You can always look it up.
I have another question.
That is a problem.
Only saltwater fish drink.
What do freshwater
In
fish do?
fresh water, the inside of the fish is saltier than the surrounding environment. Water moves into the fish by osmosis passively through the gills and the skin and the stomach.
So it doesn't go in the stomach.
Does that not count as drinking?
Fish have to eliminate all this excess water by peeing dilute urine.
Who does?
What? Wait, you said stomach though.
I know. I'm confused now.
So it's
So
in
if
the
they,
stomach.
if they
drank
absorb
it.
it through their skin and then they still piss it out, to me that's just drinking in a different way.
Do fish pee?
That's what I just said.
That's just it.
Okay, so they do pee, so then they have to drink.
If I put water in your stomach through a hole, did you drink it?
But the counterpoint is
If I don't,
fish don't pee. I'm sorry, not fish. Birds don't pee, but they drink.
Birds don't pee.
let's say I didn't have a
They-
mouth.
Like bird droppings have everything in them.
It's a
Yeah,
combination.
but the brown bit is poo
Right,
and the white bit is piss.
It's uric acid, but it comes out of the butt.
Well, it's not a butt, is it?
The cloaclia. No, wait, it's not.
Cloaca? What is it?
cloaca?
Cloaca? Is it a cloaca? Yes, it is.
Coliseum.
Coliseum.
Monosyllabic.
Monosyllabic.
Listen, I knew that the thing existed.
Spell
That's like 90%
spell
of the way
cloaca.
there.
Would you go for a double butt?
Explain
cloaca?
that.
I
admit you
that's
said
just like
double
having-
butt.
So if you put
That's
it-
just like having diarrhea, right? That doesn't seem so bad.
So if you put a hole in my stomach and you poured water in,
Yeah.
would that be drinking?
Yeah.
I think so.
You don't
Because let's say I didn't have a mouth.
No.
Let's say I didn't have a mouth.
No.
And you asked me, how do you drink?
No.
I would say, because I don't have a mouth. But that would mean that's how I drink.
What
Was
about,
that
what
way?
about an IV?
What?
That's not drinking.
An IV.
That's not drinking.
That's not drinking.
It's not drinking.
I agree.
Hole in the stomach, not drinking.
So how?
John, it's too far across the line. It's not drinking.
It's not
There's
drinking.
a line, and
So
we've
I
crossed
want to
it
know
now.
this: how high up is drinking? If you put the hole here.
No.
If you put the hole here, it's drinking. Through the cheek.
Drinking is mouth. Drinking
What?
is mouth thing.
All I can imagine now is a bunch of fucking trout with an IV bag and a little stand, and they're going down the river.
They're just hungover. They're trying to get fluids into their body.
I also think I'm really upset about salmon because I don't like that salmon can go from freshwater to saltwater. That's
just
like
over
nothing-
time.
I just don't like it. I just
they
like
slowly do
you're
it.
Either
Then go
one or,
tell them you don't like
you're
it.
one or the other.
What do you mean? We went on
Listen.
Earth and the moon.
Salinity,
And
they just have to
underwater.
deal with it. It's different levels. They just
just
slowly
too
do
much. It's too arrogant. It is. It is.
We left our planet.
Are you worried about the salmon people rising up eventually?
Turtles are iffy because turtles breathe air, and dolphins too.
What about whales?
Yeah, it's too iffy. They're too iffy. They gotta choose.
They're traitors.
They got to choose.
Yeah, do they want to be up here with us or they want to be down there with them?
Yeah, right. The fish they're committed.
That's a great song from
Except
Little
for
Mermaid.
Did you see the video of the lizard that had a bubble of air on its head and it would just breathe out of that? That was wicked.
No.
So like a bubble stuck to its head or like a skin bubble?
It has like a hydrophobic something head where it's like air clings to it, but water doesn't go on it. And then it goes underwater and it just like breathes its own head bubble.
It's like a scuba mask.
Yeah, that was cool.
No, it's like Gavin going in his pool when he was a kid with a bucket and
Yeah, what's
he'd
wrong?
breathe in the bucket. He would bring yeah, that's it. That's Gavin in the pool. That's you. You've always described that when you were a kid. By the way, don't fucking do that.
You can do it for a bit.
Yeah, I saw it in Waterworld. Totally worked.
The hardest part is dragging a bucket of air underwater.
I'm pretty sure you're going to pass out really quickly from
Were
doing
you
that.
fuckers just worried about running out of air on an airplane? Just like less than 15 minutes ago, this massive airplane that holds hundreds of people. You could sleep on that overnight. Even if it was airtight, you would be fine.
They did it in Pirates of the Caribbean with a rowboat.
Here's the problem with looking stuff up on the internet.
Diving
Gus.
bell.
This reminds me of a thing I read on the internet that I wish I didn't fucking know.
What?
Which is
How do you make a baby? That shocked me. I was really thrown for a loop on that
when
one.
Ashley and I were gonna do our pregnancy announcement, I was trying to figure out how to incorporate either the babby thing or that how do I get pregnant? Have you ever seen that? Where the guy takes all the Yahoo answers and everyone asks how can I get pregnant, but nobody can spell pregnant right, and it's just fucking hilarious. And I think the name of the video is how do I get pregnant? Yeah. Right? Or pregnant.
It's a great follow up to I love the smell of my boyfriend's colon.
But what the fuck? I was gonna say something. I forgot now.
You learned something on the
Baby
internet.
announcement.
That,
Oh, here's what I learned from Reddit. So, not related to babies at all.
Wait.
This is related to suffocation,
Oh.
like running out of air.
It's
so
connected.
I've
Related to
always heard you run out of air. I can't believe I'm sharing with these people because I didn't want to know this. You run out of air, and it's like you run out of oxygen. And it's a very peaceful way to die. And you're like, oh, you just run out of air and you go to sleep and you die, and it's super peaceful. It's not the way that works because you don't really run out of air, oxygen. That's not how people suffocate in closed-in spaces. You suffocate from carbon dioxide poisoning, which is actually a really bad way to die. And
That's painful?
Causes panic. Like it induces like raw, pure anxiety and panic because your body, I guess, has mechanisms in it to know, like, get the fuck out of here because you're in a
Something's wrong.
closed CO2 environment.
So you die screaming.
And I just wish I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't need this image in my head right now.
I wish I didn't know that.
But
good.
it's not all like that, right? Like carbon monoxide, you just pass out.
Yeah, carbon monoxide, but you don't poison yourself with carbon monoxide in a closed space. You poison yourself with carbon dioxide because you're breathing it out. You're creating.
Oh, gotcha.
You're
I see what you're
converting
saying.
stuff.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
before you die of a lack of oxygen,
Just in a space that has oxygen, you use up the oxygen and replace it with carbon
you're the
dioxide.
CO2 generator in that case.
But
And
you can just have not enough oxygen, right? Like
you
if
like
a plane.
hypoxia. Yes.
Yeah. That's kind of like euphoric from what
Right.
I've heard.
That's when you go to high altitudes.
Destin has that great video with that.
That's
so
such a
good.
good video. That's such an amazing video. Although he's got probably the best video thumbnail I've ever seen in the history of YouTube with that helicopter underwater rescue video. That thing's fucking nuts.
Watching him
we've
go
talked
through-
about these
Yeah,
before.
watching him go through that, I can't imagine the training, like having that muscle memory.
He
to
did really well in the
to do
hypoxia
things
video.
the correct way.
Yeah. He went in the hypoxia video. He did really well with other like trained commercial pilots there in the room with him. And I
They
think
did have to tell him to put his shit back on, and then he wouldn't do it though. I think he went past the point where he would have survived.
definitely.
Yeah.
He would have died if they had not
Yeah, you
put
just-
oxygen back in the room. He
You
would
just
have
get
died.
real dumb.
Yeah, he's a smart dude.
What's that like for a dumb person?
They
really
get
Do they
smart.
get really smart?
It's like flowers for Algernon. They become
Does
super
every middle
smart.
schooler have to read that?
Dude, my kid just referenced flowers for Algernon the other day. And I forget what he was talking about, but it was a really like, I thought, wow, I haven't heard of that book in years, but I guess so. They're still reading
Such a
it.
depressing story.
It's a very depressing
Why don't they
story.
bring back educational video games?
Like,
Math Blaster?
Like, what? Imagine if there was like a AAA Xbox educational game.
You know, Oregon Trail was supposed to be an educational game. And you can now buy a handheld version of it.
People
like the old
learned
Mattel handhelds.
to spell
They make an
dysentery.
Oregon Trail like that.
I don't think I learned anything from Oregon Trail except what dysentery was.
Yeah, I know dysentery.
And that's really useful for adult day-to-day life, knowing what dysentery is.
I always felt bad, too, because I could never carry enough buffalo back. I had to waste like 150 pounds of buffalo.
bear is what you would waste a lot of.
Without it was bears?
Yeah.
It was some animal. There's waste all
There's
this
probably
meat.
buffalo too, but I remember killing too many animals, and then just like, yep, you just killed all these animals. You're just gonna leave them here.
Yep. What was the educational game that you played in the UK?
Do you have the Oregon Trail, or do you call it like the Welsh Path?
No, I didn't really do that much. I played Mario Teaches Sums.
Mario Teaches Sums?
Yeah, it
It's
was
like
a
an
real game.
alternate universe.
You never heard of that
I
shit?
think it's Mario Teaches Math in the United States. United States.
You're fine.
I didn't learn grammar from Mario. Sorry,
fine.
from Mario. Sorry.
Mario
does words good.
teaches sums.
Yeah, like
look it up.
adding and shit.
Look that up.
Teaches sums.
You not say sums?
No, we would say addition.
The Monkey Island games, those taught problem solving. There's a lot of problems, like a lot
It's
of
a puzzle game.
Yeah, it's a puzzle.
I would say that I would not classify that as an education.
Look at this. This is not what I was looking for at all, but I'm happy that this exists. Someone wrote a book called Mario Teaches Sums that you can buy.
Oh, and I know what to get you for your birthday next year.
Yeah, try and get a video of Mario Teaches Sums. I want to see if it.
I think I found it.
I want to see if it jogs a memory that I haven't seen for 25 years.
Of course. Fucking awesome.
Little video.
There we go.
This is why retro stuff is so hard. Are you playing this?
Yeah, it was like all the sprites.
That was
from
weird timing.
A
What was
real
that?
Mario game.
I think that was it. This looks like the sprites from Super Mario World.
Yeah, but it was like it was really not fun.
Trademark and copyright 1994 Nintendo.
Copyright the Software Toolworks.
Luigi's gonna help.
Why are they all moving so slow?
God, what's the frame rate of this?
Well, it was MS DOS. You gotta give it
Eric, what was it on?
What's it gonna spell?
MS-DOS.
Mario.
Okay, so it was a PC game. It was a computer game.
Yeah.
Oh God, is it gonna go through the entire thing? We are watching all of this. Everyone, sit tight.
Hey, John, can we stream this? Can we have a Mario Teaches Sums stream?
Fuck yeah, we are now.
Podcast
We're doing it
Let's Play.
now. We're doing that
That
next
would get
week.
old instantaneously.
It's
doing
already
math
old.
problems.
We haven't even started the game.
No, we could speed on it because we'd be so good at sums.
Probably not as good as a kid though. Miles did a thing on Twitter where he was asking people to solve a specific math problem, which was really simple. Like, what is 6 plus 8?
That was the thing. It was Twitter was asking people. It was a thing on Twitter where they would put out like, "How do you solve this?"
Yeah, and Miles was like, he was confused by how people were doing math because if I said, "What is 6 plus 8?" What is the answer? Gavin?
14.
Yeah, and how did you arrive at that answer?
Muscle memory.
Just that 6 plus 8 is 14.
Yeah, memorizing the answers.
I know all the single digit numbers. That's called rhetoric. That's the way they used to teach, which you would just memorize. Not rhetoric. Rote. Is it rhetoric?
Oh, yeah, rote.
Yeah,
It's
rote.
rote.
Yeah.
rote.
You memorize the
Rote
small ones, so
memorization.
then
Rote memorization.
you memorize the small ones,
So
so
why
then you
didn't
can
those-
They
use
didn't teach me that word.
you
Why
can
did
use that to do the bigger ones.
That you learn all that, but your damn teachers didn't tell you how to remember a 24-hour clock. Oh,
I know how
I
to
got to subtract 12 from it. Or just remember what the numbers mean.
We just never used it.
We just don't use.
Yeah, we know how to
24-hour
do
clocks.
that.
But the excuse that Americans they don't use it is because they don't like to do math when they tell the time.
because we have to do math
You're a smart person.
because we weren't taught it.
I use it every day.
But you don't actually have to do math, is what I'm saying. You just memorize that 17 is 5.
Right? If it's not memorized, then
You're talking about memory, though. That's what my point was.
But we don't use it.
we don't use it.
You should use it, though.
There you go.
It's really good.
If we, you know what would happen? You know what would happen if we used it? We'd memorize it.
I also don't
could just
know
memorize it.
how long it takes to make tea. Like right off the top of my head, I can make a guesstimate. You probably know exactly how long it takes to make tea.
Well, it's a preference thing.
I learned that the hard way. Do not get into a conversation with a British person about the proper way to make tea because everyone fucking does it different. And
Oh, really? As long
as
no
you
matter
don't-
how you do it, you fucked it up and
No,
you're
as
doing it
long
wrong.
as you don't put the milk in first.
Correct.
You're good.
Correct. You're
Put milk on a tea bag.
you're a monster if you put milk in first.
Let me tell you something though. I read about somebody's talking about their dad, like annoying habits people in your family had. And she was talking about her dad. She didn't like the fact that the way he would eat cereal,
Nope, don't do that either.
he would, what are you going to say?
Milk first.
Get this.
Water.
This guy is the fucking next level. He'd get 2 bowls. He'd pour milk in one and cereal in the other. He'd take a spoonful of cereal, dip it in the milk.
What
and then
is
eat
going
that.
on?
That guy's
Animal.
fucking brilliant. That guy's cracked the
Making
fucking code.
double the
Double
dishes,
dishes,
for no
dude.
reason.
Oh, you just rinse them. What's
Part
your problem?
of eating cereal.
I guarantee that motherfucker didn't do his own
Yeah,
dishes.
does he have a double placemat as well? That's going to be a nightmare.
Double placemat. What do you have? Dish-sized placemats and that's it?
Well, they wouldn't fit 2 bowls. They'd be like...
On the topic of like making tea, that would be like, all right, here's my tea with my water and my tea bag, and then here's my cup of water, and you just kind of like pour a little bit into a spoon and then take a shot of it.
No,
You take
just
a
put
spoonful
straight
of
into your
tea
mouth.
leaves.
You put the tea bag in your mouth and just pour the hot water
Boiling
in.
water.
Because the tea does
like a
need
Mr.
to, the
Bean
tea does
sketch.
need to sit in the water, but then you don't want it to
You
get
hold
cool
it in your mouth,
God.
then you drink it. Boiling water.
Part of cereal is when you put the fucking milk in, you have started the timer of when you have to finish the cereal bowl.
Yeah.
How long is your timer?
Depends on the cereal.
My timer's like 45 seconds. I gotta get that shit out of there before it gets
But
soggy.
what cereal you eating?
Anything.
No, because like Frosted Flakes will dissolve like that.
Yeah, I'll wolf those down. Sub-minute.
But grape nuts, you're cracking your teeth.
Yeah.
What's great though?
So something I've learned too is that
terrible.
I had we have
Scrabble.
Lucky Charms here in like a little bin. You get Lucky Charms
What are they
with
called? Grape nuts. Yeah,
they
yeah.
have the marshmallows, which are pretty much styrofoam. Is
Yes.
what they. If you
Delicious
just eat them,
styrofoam.
they even make that like squeak. I'm making myself cringe a little bit by talking about it. If you leave it in milk, it actually turns into a regular marshmallow. Like it's like a
Yeah, it's
normal.
just dehydrated.
It's a normal marshmallow, but it's like the time that you gotta have the marshmallow in the milk is greater than the amount of time that the cereal should stay in the milk.
So there should be a staging system where it
Exactly.
drops all the marshmallows, waits a minute, drops
Prime
the rest.
Exactly right.
Or just
You should come up with a device that automates that for you. It sorts them all out and then dispenses them properly.
Who makes that? General Mills? I'd be happy
Or
to
you could have
sell
like
that.
your cereal comes in two different bags in the box. One is just the marshmallows, and the other one's just the cereal. I felt like when we were in the 80s, that was a little fad for a while, where you would buy a box of cereal and it'd be like two smaller bags in there. So it's like you would buy two cereals at once. Do
Screw you,
remember any of that?
environment.
Yeah.
It's roughly the same amount of plastic. It's just split up into two bags.
All right.
It was so stupid.
You don't live with
Nintendo
anybody
did that a
currently,
lot.
but you have lived with other people.
Sure.
You both live with other people.
Yeah.
There's no greater test of a relationship than watching someone you live with open a box of cereal for the first time and open the bag and how they do it. I've never met anybody in my life who can do that properly. Teddy opened a box of cereal the other day. It was like we left it out for the fucking rats to eat. It was like the lid was torn apart. The bag was like, nobody tries to go from the top of the bag and just open it nicely. It's just like ripped from the
No.
side.
You have to open up the cardboard part so that it can retain the ability to seal on itself.
Correct.
And then you need to go to an edge of the bag.
Yes.
And you need
Yeah.
to open up the edge by pulling it apart and leaving it so it's a nice little spout but doesn't rip everything.
Edge.
Right.
No.
Yeah, the edge.
Yes, so
Because then when you pick it
can
up
do
and you
this cool
pour
thing
it,
called pour, and the cereal doesn't just pour out the whole top.
takes way too
You
long.
open the whole top of the bag, don't you?
Open the box, as John said.
Carefully
correctly.
open the box.
Yeah. Get the top of the bag and rip the entire thing open. So it's quick pause, and then you roll it, all fold it down.
When you say
put it
rip
in
the bag open, do you like
So the
break
bag's
the
all-
seal it's got?
I'm not the Hulk. I've got to open the middle of a bag. It's got to be
Only
on
the
the
Hulk can
on
do
the,
that.
on the seam. What? You could just pull open the middle of a
But you're
cereal
opening
bag?
up the entire seam?
Yeah.
All the way open?
Yeah.
Do you do that with like a milk carton too? Do you open up the milk carton and just open up the whole thing so there's no spout?
A big square.
Well, no.
it makes for faster
it's
milk pours.
No, with Gavin, I opened the whole bag
And
at
then
the
he
top.
just rolls it closed.
2019, so the way I open milk is like this.
I open it with an app on my phone.
No, Gavin, the way you open milk is you walk to your front door, open it, go to the cold box, and get it there,
the top.
and do it there from
Oh,
your
I
cold
missed my milkman.
your cold mailbox.
Eric, you got to maintain the box integrity because that's where you hold your cereal.
No, you're talking about being careful with the top to reseal it like it's going to seal in any freshness.
It'll
It doesn't do anything.
no, it's just presentation,
keeps,
man.
like-
Keeps the
Who
bag
are you
down.
presenting
Because
cereal
we're
to?
not animals.
It's just so you, when you go to pour and you pour out the fucking cereal, the whole box doesn't come out. So then you actually just have an actual controlled stream of cereal coming out.
You're an animal, Eric.
It's the box. The top of the box doesn't do anything.
Eric,
Yeah.
I want you to adopt Teddy because he has to go live in your house.
Me and Teddy will feed the rat cereal.
We should do a thing where we buy 4 boxes of cereal and then everyone opens it up in private and we all show it
It's
here.
like when we all tried to show how we wipe our assholes
Yeah.
that one time.
Oh, good lord! The
Weren't you there for that one?
yeah, I
Was
thought
I?
it was. Yeah,
Probably.
You're the one who brought it up.
probably.
God, I'm gonna bring a box of the chicken and waffle cereal and have you guys taste test it.
We should definitely do that. You know what the audience loves when we eat crunchy things right into the mic.
They do. They love it
It's the best.
and talk about it.
There should be an obstacle course when you first get involved with someone. You should do the
What else
toilet
is
paper
there?
thing, the cereal thing, like how they do everything.
Bathroom counters too. It's just like
Yes.
I finally got to a point in my life where I have separate sinks. It's the difference is incredible. It's just like I have our bathroom looks like there's like a point of demarcation. It's like where there was a war on this side and everybody died, and on this side it's still like pristine nature. It's insane. It's insane. It's just like there's so much, and it's like in the shower. I'm like, I'm gonna get claustrophobia. There's so much shit in the shower. I got like one bottle that I use for like my body and my hair, and that's it.
Don't be that.
Yes. Efficiency.
Be
Boom.
better,
Get in, get out. Get
be
in.
better than a bottle that is cleaning your entire body. Be better than that.
You use a bottle for all the different kinds of dishes. The one bottle.
Do you have to have special shampoo for your new haircut?
I use special shampoo.
No,
Always.
but for the new haircut because you have colored hair now.
Robert advised certain shampoo.
Did he color your hair?
Yeah, of course.
Really?
No one's gonna touch my hair except for Robert.
I got a haircut. I didn't have enough time. I had to do pickup shots for something, and I needed to go back a month, and I literally had about 6 hours notice, so I had to go somewhere
You
else.
got time machine installed on your head?
I'm gonna tell Robert.
If we've never talked about this before, Robert is a person. He worked on 11 Little Roosters. He's this amazing.
Worked with Anna.
Yeah, worked with Anna, and
Who they don't know either.
Oh, Anna does makeup for podcasts. Yeah.
basically every single person. She was on the Monday last week. She popped in.
Oh yeah, she did. Yeah.
And but he's literally every single person that I know of at the company. Every guy who has curly hair goes to see the same guy to get their hair cut. Me, Cameron Malone, Wes, John, me. Yeah,
Alfredo goes to him.
Alfredo goes now too. I don't think of Alfredo as having curly hair.
He doesn't, but Alfredo got it when Alfredo got his colored like silver.
Yeah.
That was
We're
Robert.
saying Chris Damaris there.
Please.
No,
I got a list of boys
we like
I
Robert.
want to send.
We want to keep Robert around.
Trevor tossed out that idea of me queer eyeing specifically Matt from Achievement Hunter, and that just triggered me to have like the list of people that I would love to help
get in order.
Trevor has like Mad Men hair.
Matt is exactly who he wants to be.
Matt's very happy with who he wants to be, and that's great. I would love to see Matt be, at the very least, a little healthier, because I'm like there is some of his lifestyle that it concerns me about, like just longevity and health. That's
Max?
all.
Matt who? Bragg?
Bragg.
Okay, there's so many Matts. I'm like, who the fuck are you talking about? Max or Matt? What's wrong with his health?
That's just the way the way he eats and his diet and everything like that. Like I'm all for be happy, but I'm also all for be healthy, live longer, live better, that kind of thing. It's not even about like aesthetic. It's just about actually
Maybe he wants
allowing
to
your body to function.
Burn bright and short.
Allowing your body to function.
Right. Enjoy it while you can.
Yeah.
Gotta be like those two guys in that video.
16
Let's see that
donuts.
video again, Eric. Gotta be like those guys. They're in the corner of the pool. They're in the corner of the pool having a fucking blast. They're enjoying the shit out of themselves.
Do the sound effects for him.
Yeah, I don't. Oh man, the throwback head of laugh is so real.
I think the guy's putting his ear down. I think he wants to hear it better.
It's good every time. It's good every time.
Because they're happy, man. They're
so
having a
happy.
fucking great time. Who's the guy? The guy's not having a good time. The guy who's filming a pool party. What's that? What is that guy doing? Why is he out there filming shit? I love those
Gotta
guys,
post
though.
on social media. Here,
Miat.
Let me read this other thing.
What's the real quick before you do that? What's the Miat thing? Because I keep seeing it everywhere, and I missed the video where.
It's just the pronunciation of his name.
But did it
Yeah, they're just
originate
saying
from
his
somewhere
name.
like wind?
I think it's from Trevor.
Okay. Sorry, guys. Go ahead.
All right. I want to remind everyone this episode of the Rooster Teeth podcast is brought to you by Stuber. 20th Century Fox's action comedy Stuber follows a mild-mannered Uber driver named Stu, played by Kumail Nanjiani.
Yeah, our episode of Saturday/Monday driving with Kumail was really funny.
He's a really funny
dude.
guy.
He's a
And,
funny dude.
Yeah, real gamer too.
Also, by the way, he had a podcast on the Nerdist
Yeah.
network for a long time called Indoor Kids, and he's been around. Like, I believe I should look it up. I believe he's like some early college humor productions. Like he was in
really?
the first scripted thing they ever did, which was Street Fighter: The Early Years. I'm gonna make sure that he was in that before I say it. Yeah, but a really funny dude. And crazy thing is, surprisingly jacked now, like beefed up. In a serious, yes. Get him to. If you see interviews now, you can see him like every now and then somebody will call it out and make him flex, and it's like, where the fuck did this come from? When did this happen? It's that Bautista influence,
It's that. Yeah, it's probably a little bit of the Bautista and just generally. I mean,
or maybe he just got healthy and everyone's saying it's because of Dave Bautista now. He
Right.
gets all the
I
credit
mean-
for it.
Yeah, and he's like, it can't be just because of me. It's
Yeah, I know, right?
got to be someone else.
Did you have you guys seen the kerfuffle about Gronk? The retired tight end, right, Eric? Tight end? Yeah. They
No.
they had a picture of him just recently, and when he was playing, he just retired, and there was speculation of whether or not he was going to stay retired. And I don't really follow him specifically, so I'm going to try to get this right from memory. I believe when he was playing, he weighed like 270-ish pounds, maybe like 275. But just, a professional football player, massive dude. But he just had recently, like he attended some premiere or something like that, just 6 months after retiring. And he's like 220. Like, John, he lost like so much fucking mass.
Well,
which is, for me, is depressing.
Because he just doesn't need it anymore.
Right, yeah.
When you're like an NFL athlete or an athlete on that level, your job is to work out constantly.
Yeah, and to
right.
eat,
Like,
and to eat.
everything about your life is focused on that.
It's such an old reference, but it stayed with me ever since I heard it when Will Smith put on all the weight for Ali, and he got pretty giant for that role.
He did.
His response to people were like, "You're gonna keep up?" He's like, "It is not worth it." And he that's why he obviously slimmed down from there and has always maintained a pretty muscular physique. But that was his experience of getting big athlete big, and he was like, "Nah, it's a lot of work." And some guys totally maintain it, and some guys totally like it. But his response was like, "No." And imagine someone like Gronk like doing that for so long in perpetuity, getting a break and getting to like not maintain that size.
He looks like a regular dude.
Just looks like a dude, like a regular dude now.
We met him at Day of Doom.
That's correct. He played with Michael or Adam.
I think he played with Michael.
I think he was on Michael's team as well. Yeah, they had a Doom thing with a couple people. I can't remember now. Gronk was
Gronkowski,
one of them.
Ocho Cinco,
Thierry
Thierry Henry, and someone else who I can't remember. Now I'm embarrassed.
Yeah, Camille played Dalsim. You say Dalsim or Dalsim?
I always said Dalsim.
I say Dalsim too. I think. I just was reading it. And said
But
Dalsim.
that's on the list of like words that were presented to me as a kid without anybody saying it clearly.
Yeah.
And
Plus,
so-
you probably read that for the first time when you were like 10.
Yeah.
And you're like, I have no idea what DNH makes.
That's why I said Ryu.
They didn't.
Not Ryu.
They didn't say their names in the.
That's why I added like hearing it clearly. I just never like either wasn't paying attention or it was because of the low grade of the audio. Like I just never got it.
They had that. I think the only thing they actually said in the game was that shitty 8-bit voice stuff they had, but they would say the names of the countries when you go there.
Oh, yeah.
Like you'd fly to fight E Honda
Japan.
and it'd say Japan.
No, but they would say stuff because Sagat would say like tiger uppercut.
Who are you kidding? Yeah, and stuff like that. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Japan. So they ever say the names of the characters? Ken. I don't remember them saying Ken.
But when one wins, don't they?
Ken wins?
Did
I
they?
think if I
No,
ever...
it was saying like
maybe
you
not.
lose,
Yeah.
you win.
Yeah.
That was what it was. I'm hearing the sound in my head right now. Like
But what if
there's-
it's two-player? Two
That's-
human
I
players.
just
That'd be
wondering.
good. It's a good question. I don't know. Maybe it was. Maybe they did say it.
Oh, Antonio Brown. What's the other one?
I think there's people over there having fun.
Ben lost the time. There's people always just fucking having a great time here. It's like it's
Someone's
fucking
screaming.
6 o'clock. Somebody send those people home. They're having too much fun. Get them out of here. Fuck off.
They sound like a bunch of bottles.
Don't have so much
I
fun.
hear like dishes
Rattling
and
together.
laughing over there. People are having a fucking blast.
Because you asked for it, Gavin.
I did.
You got really excited about it.
You wanted a beer?
Thank
You know,
you.
some beers.
Oh man.
I wish I liked beer.
Did you? So, in a testament to how stupid people are, I don't
I'll
know.
take one of those
I don't
from
know if you saw this, but when you buy like an Apple iTunes gift card or an App Store gift card now, on the back they have to start printing. This is only good for the App Store or the iTunes Store. This is not. You cannot use this to pay your taxes.
Oh really? I've always read this has no monetary value.
Oh.
Yeah, now they say like it cannot. It explicitly says cannot be used to pay taxes because
The IRS doesn't want a bunch of free songs.
right, like who. I don't understand how that scam. I don't understand how people fall for this scam to begin with. If you don't know, sometimes scammers will call people, pretend to be the federal government, tell them they owe back taxes, and they need to pay it now over the phone, and they need to go to a store and buy an iTunes gift card and read them the numbers over the phone.
Oh shit,
Oh,
that's where it's
I've
came
never
up-
heard that
Right.
last part.
I just
Yeah,
assumed
I've
people were
heard it.
sending in their tax return with a bunch of gift
No,
cards.
so that scammers call and they get the people to go and buy like hundreds of dollars of gift cards, read them all the codes so that they can then sell them or use
They'll
them online.
sometimes like have people walk to the store and they'll be on the phone like instructing them because it's like they target really old people a lot of the time.
Right, and so now they come with a warning that they cannot be used to pay taxes.
I
Awful.
don't think we talked about it before because we were really concerned about it, but this has been so long ago now. We ran into that. We got a call from a shipping
Oh yeah,
center, and they said, "Hey, we have a bunch of your T-shirts here." This is back when we sold primarily T-shirts. I mean, this is like what, going back 13 years at this
yeah,
point?
it was like the shipping center in San Antonio.
San Antonio, right? And we were like, "Okay, what's the problem?" They go, "Well, all your stuff is being shipped to, I want to say Nigeria."
It was Nigeria.
It was Nigeria, and we checked our records, and we didn't have any sales to Nigeria. In fact, I don't think we could process stuff at that point in time from Nigeria. and they did an investigation on it. And they said, "Oh, it's fine. You guys are okay. We can return this stuff to you if you want to, but we have to send it along." It was a lady that they had a name for it. They called it reboxing.
It was reboxing.
If I call it, yeah, God, my memory's actually working. Or we have the same faulty memory, Gus, where somebody in Nigeria befriended this older lady, and they would just have her buy stuff online, and then it would ship to her house, and then she would box it and ship it to Nigeria. So she was paying for the merchandise and then paying for the shipping, but then they were going to pay her a bunch of money in the future to pay for everything.
Or it was like one of those things where they give you a fraudulent check where you deposit it and you get money, but then the bank realizes that it's fake and the money goes away after like 10 days.
Yeah.
And that's when we learned too, because we were like, well, we don't want to can we get her name, because we don't want to ship any more stuff to her.
Yeah.
We want to try to help her even by, basically not honoring her orders. And they couldn't give us any of that information. So we're just like, we just know of the existence of this person, essentially, and that we couldn't do anything about it. Tried to investigate and figure it out. It sounded like it was a decent amount of stuff, so we thought we'd be able to find it, but we never could find out who it was.
Because we sold that much stuff.
I wonder if they were scamming us.
Is that like a real service that people offer though? If your country isn't delivered to by a place, you can get it shipped somewhere else first.
There's literally, I don't think anything illegal about it, unless you're breaking some kind of import law and shipping something that can't be delivered to that country, like seeds or something like that. But it's one of those things that falls in a gray area. You can give someone your money, unless you can prove it's directly fraud, you made misleading statements. Then you could say that. But yeah, I don't think there's anything illegal about buying something and then just shipping it to somebody else in a different country.
Buying some high quality Rooster Teeth merchandise?
What about that, Gus?
That is incredible. What an incredible deal.
Come to the Coop at RTX.
Here, I found the exact
Free
wording
shipping
on the
to
gift cards.
Nigeria this weekend only.
Card cannot be used for payments outside of U.S. App Store or iTunes Store, including taxes. It's printed in red on the back of them
taxes.
Well, they always put that. They used to put that in the fine print of every contest or coupon. They put the monetary value of the coupon. Like the coupon says $1 off and says dollar all over it.
Coupon's worth 0.01 pennies.
It's always, what is that? It's always like 0.001 cent is what it's worth, and that's it. Is that because people would say you owe me $1 because this coupon expired or something?
It's every disclaimer on stuff like that is because someone or enough people caused that problem happen enough where they just have to put that disclaimer in there. It's like, why is it caution liquid hot on a goddamn cup of coffee? It's because someone burned their mouth, tried to sue, and they have to cover their ass now.
But whenever I bring that one up in particular, people will correct me now, and so I'm going to do the same thing to you, which is that person apparently reported to that McDonald's several times that the coffee was too hot.
Sure.
Then ended up burning themselves.
And it ended up being like 200 degrees.
Yeah.
No, I guess, and then the answer is that it's just if a problem
that's almost 100
that shouldn't be a problem happens enough, they're going to cover their ass and put that on there so that they are no longer liable. It's just covering your ass.
It's such a weird thing because people, if they're wrong, they want to have a remedy, especially against a big company, right? But they don't want the big company to have these protections of saying, all these little rules or all these disclaimers to things. But at the same time, we just were talking earlier, it's like the first reaction of the lady got locked on a plane was she should sue the airline.
Oh, that's not my reaction. I think people sue way too often, and it's just you're abusing that privilege. But I would get something out of it, get some flights out of it.
To me, I'm more concerned as a passenger on that airline. Why don't they walk the plane or clean the plane?
They're supposed to.
They're supposed to. Yeah.
At the very least.
Maybe they don't want to wake her up. They're very polite Canadians. They're like, she's had a long day. We'll let her sleep.
She didn't have that tag that said, "Wake me for snacks and landings."
Right.
On the topic of weird redundancies, I brought this up, I think, just the other night with a couple of the people there in town, and I'm curious to your guys' thoughts of why this is occurring. If you go downtown to the Trader Joe's, that's
I was just there.
Okay, so parking garage underneath Trader Joe's. You go in, and there's a normal machine where you push the button, get your ticket, go park.
Yeah.
When you're done, exit parking garage, go to the machine, scan your code, tells you how much you pay, pay, GTFO. Almost every time I go there, there's a dude there.
Yeah, I don't understand why that dude's
There's
there.
a dude that stands there. He'll come over. He'll push the button for you, grab your ticket, give it to you. And then when you go, he'll take your ticket, scan it, ask for your card. And I'm like,
I was
At the airport, they have that too.
I was getting so frustrated because I was there yesterday, or no, I was there on Saturday, and when you leave, there's 2 lines, so the dude could only be at 1 line at a time.
Yes.
And the line was like backed up. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? There's 2 lines. It's taking me a long time to get out of here. So I managed to like make my way over to the left lane because I see the left lane's moving, the right lane isn't. Get over the left lane, and I look, and the dude's just sitting there chatting with the guy in the car.
No.
It's like, well, here's the fucking problem. And I just scan my thing and go. It's like, not only is it less efficient, the dude's actively making it worse now.
Well, my logic goes even further than that. And your situation actually even negates this. I'm like, oh, maybe some people have a hard time navigating the paying system.
You don't pay there, do you?
Yeah.
You can scan it in the Trader Joe's.
Yeah, you totally.
can get it for free.
I never pay.
Just making sure.
Because it's free, everything like that.
I know.
But it's like the same system that's at the parking garage over here at Mueller. It's the same. That's the same parking system. But
The thing
the entrance part isn't the most complex fucking puzzle ever created. It's a goddamn button.
Maybe he's been working there for 60 years and they don't want to retire.
at the
so
Trader
it's
Joe's
like-
that's been there for like the last 3 years.
One time I
Put on a
went.
uniform, just show up and start doing that job.
I went to this draft house over here at Mueller, the one you're talking about with that parking garage. And one time I was getting so infuriated because, like you say, you pull up and the thing, you roll down your window, the thing says, please push the button.
Yes.
You push the button and it spits out a ticket and you take it and you
Yes.
park. I pulled up and there was a car in front of me at the thing, at his window's down, I can tell because his arm's out. And he's got a credit card in his hand and he's trying to stick it into the machine. This is going
To get in?
This is going into the garage. The thing's telling him, please push the button. And he's like trying to stick his credit card into the machine just to get into the garage.
I wonder if he's from a different country.
And I just watched him. I was like, it took him like 3 minutes to get into the garage. He could not figure out how to push the button to get the flashing blue button.
That's right.
There are some things where it's like culturally, by the look of it, it's very similar to how you would do it in your country, and then it looks the same, but it's slightly different. Like the amount of times I've watched Americans put their card into a machine in England and then rip it out
Oh, yeah.
because they
Swipe.
think it's a swipe, but it's actually you just leave it in for the chip to be read. And that happens a lot. People just go like, and it's like, put the card back in.
Well, I think that's going away
honestly-
now with
Chips are normalized.
Wouldn't you rather have the person standing there helping people just so you don't get that like 2 or 3 people in a row who just have to read
But in
everything?
his situation, it wasn't helping.
Have never been in this situation before in their life. Well, in this situation, that was a guy by himself.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is I'd rather have the guy there who goes, oh, just push the button, man. And that's it. I'd rather have the guy there who does that.
But he should be there to help if needed, and otherwise just stand and
Or-
stay out of the way.
Just do what everyone else does and just have it automated by the license plate.
Sure.
There,
I got trapped in that garage recently. Did I tell you all that?
you got trapped? Did you sue?
Leaving? Yeah, I did.
Did you eat all the Pringles?
Leaving the draft house. You pull your ticket. I think it's when I signed game.
Do you
and
need some
go,
Pringles? Do you need me to
and,
buy you some Pringles?
When you go to leave, you have to validate your ticket. And
Pringles,
you go to the
Pringles
front.
and ginger ale on a plane. That's it.
You go to the
That's
front of
only
the
time
draft
I eat
house
those
and they
things.
validate your ticket, so you don't have to pay for parking. So I went to validate my ticket. I go to leave. I get up to the machine, and then just like Trader Joe's, you put your ticket in, and the gate's supposed to come up. Well, I put the ticket in, and then it said ticket invalid, and it spit my ticket back out. I was like, well, that's weird.
This is your nightmare, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
Were there people behind you?
No, luckily there
Oh
wasn't.
my
So I
God.
immediately put my car in reverse, went back and parked, and there's a guy who works there in that garage, right? Like kind of by one of the sides. I don't know if you've ever seen him. Just like a
didn't
little
just try
glass
it again?
enclosure.
Where
I know
is
that
it?
I
at
actually
Trader
tried it
Joe's.
twice. No, this is at this draft house over
Okay.
here. So I go over to like where the guy is in that little glass enclosure.
Yeah.
And I knock on the glass. I'm like, hey, he's obviously the parking attendant.
Yeah,
He's working
I've talked
there.
to that person with the
I'm
problem
like, hey, my ticket's not letting me out. It says ticket invalid. He goes, oh, I can't do anything to help you.
Nice.
I said,
Why is that?
what? He goes, oh, what you need to do is just go back up to the machine and hit the help button. And I was like, but
Why are you
Please
here?
tell me the help button goes to him.
Yeah,
I
and
was
then he walks over, he's like, need some help?
Okay. So I go back in my
I
car.
don't get credit for it.
This is getting to be my nightmare now because now I have to go back knowing my ticket's not going to work.
Oh, you're waiting for someone to pull in behind
Right.
you?
So I like very quickly go up to the thing, put my ticket in. It says ticket invalid. I push the help button. And I'm looking at this guy. It's not him. Then a woman answers and she's like, can I help you? And I'm like, my ticket's not working. It's ticket invalid.
Go to the window.
And she goes, oh, okay. What are the 4 digits printed on your ticket? I'm like, what? And I look at it. It's like, 1, 2, 3, 4. She goes, okay. The gate's open now. And then the gate just opened. I was like, okay. And I just
She was
left.
probably in a call center somewhere completely different too. I
Right,
doubt
she
she was
probably was.
anywhere nearby.
But they made me wonder, why the fuck is that guy there?
Yeah.
We should ask him. What do you do?
He was watching Netflix on his phone.
Yep, that makes sense to me.
I don't think I did it here, but I told you about my the worst anxiety trip I ever had with the parking garage at Disneyland.
Oh yeah, with the yeah,
Yeah.
you did, yeah,
Where
yeah.
the Uber guy?
That like
Yeah, you told that
what you're talking about, like having to drive up and be stuck in a position where you're inconveniencing someone else. Those are just the worst.
I do not want to
situations
do that.
whatsoever.
But nobody else thinks about that.
No,
What?
they do not.
Glenn Howerton had a great tweet that I think about literally every single time that I travel. And his tweet was 2 parts. It was basically, or it might have been a graphic one that he like screenshotted from his notepad, which is like, here's me when I travel. This is Glenn speaking as himself. Me when I travel. Me. Hello, agent. Hi, where are you going today? I'm going to Los Angeles. Great. Do you have any bags to check? Nope. Got it right here. Great. Have a great flight. Thank you. Bye. Everyone else when they travel. So, what do you do here at the airport? It's like, we just have planes and they go places. Like, where do the planes go? And he goes, wow, you're not prepared for this at all. And they said, no, we're not. Hold on a second, sir. Let me type in the entire autobiography of Anne Frank for a moment. And it's 100% true. It's like, I never understand what the person in front of me is doing that takes 20 minutes
even-
and then it takes me 2 seconds.
Even like at a fast food restaurant.
yes.
You're like, I know what I want.
It's
gonna
McDonald's.
It's going to take me 10 seconds to order.
I agree.
McDonald's.
There should be no surprises at this point.
No, the McDonald's implementing the digital menu that you can order without even going to the person is my favorite thing.
It
ever.
is, but it's covered in poop.
What do you mean it's covered in poop?
Did you not read that story?
Pardon?
Yeah, but everything's poop. A door handle's poop.
It was in the UK in your country.
Look, we're poopy people.
Some researchers went and started swabbing those
What are we,
machines because they were
salmon?
curious, and they discovered that they were covered in fecal material.
I bet the menu,
Everything is.
every menu in every restaurant has so much poo on it.
Who's the fucking scientist? That's his job. He's going out looking for feces
Everyone just
on
needs
stuff.
to-
You're gonna find it if you look for
Yeah,
it.
everyone needs to know that like a couple of tiny little microscopic dollops of feces probably won't hurt you.
Probably not. Probably not. You're probably gonna be okay.
Let's see.
Do you know there's some colon conditions, stomach disorders, intestinal disorders, where one of the medical treatments is a poop transfer.
Yeah.
transplant.
because you got to get the
Bacteria.
bacteria.
Seems like I just get the bacteria and just take like a pill that gives you the bacteria, or
I gotta put it
just
up
seems
the
like
butt.
it'd be direct like poop to poop, but apparently that's the way it works.
Have you ever shoved a pill up your ass?
That's what P2P is short for. Poop to poop.
It's got an acronym
P2P
now.
sharing.
It's common enough to where they need an acronym for it. So let me think about this. Have I ever done a suppositor? I think I would remember that if I have. No.
Okay.
Have you?
Yeah.
Was it a job getting it up there? Like,
I was not prepared for how that would feel.
You ever stuck a finger up there?
It's just like touching a McDonald's touchscreen.
the same
It's
thing.
exactly the same.
That's not true. By the way.
What they didn't they
That
told
was
me
hyperbole.
they told me the instructions wrong.
What? You literally-
What step
it's
was
like,
wrong?
Take this up butt.
That's pretty much what they told me.
He went for the urethra.
What they didn't say was just wait for like 5 minutes afterwards. 'Cause
Wait
it was,
for what?
it was made of
Instead-
wax.
As opposed to
It was
what?
like it was like contained in like a waxy substance.
You went and did some
melts.
aerobics.
It's meant to melt. You're meant to just like hold off, wait for it to melt. I got it up there after a while, and then I thought, well, it's up there. I'll go to work now. So I walked out of the bathroom, got dressed, and I was like, and then I walked out my front door, and it was like, it just shot out, and it was like partially melted at this point. So I just had like paste, like white paste in my underwear.
I was gonna say there's underwear involved with this. Yes.
Yeah. And then I was like, I wonder if I got enough. Do I have to put another one up there?
Did you have to get the paste and put it back up in there?
No, I didn't try and stuff I put it in one of those cookie things. the cupcakes. No, it was, I didn't like doing that.
It's an acquired taste. You gotta build up to it. You gotta build up to it, buddy.
Yeah.
Start with
so
the smaller
I
suppositories.
took to
Dude,
then
yeah.
just like lying on the bed after I'd done it for a bit.
With your legs up in the air.
Oh, well, that would force it out, wouldn't it?
I don't know.
to make it more fun though.
I was on my front with like my ass cheeks crushed together, like
you
trying to
doing-
clench it up.
Were you like doing like yoga, like downward dog? Is that what you were?
I don't know. If you had to suck stuff up your butt using just your body,
We've already talked about this. and
would
it's-
go
I
on
have to
your
learn how to
front.
vape to do that already. All right, we've had this conversation. I'm working on it. Supposedly,
Yeah, when are we doing that?
There's supposedly someone
Extra Life, I
sending.
think.
Supposedly someone sending me a vape pen specifically for this act.
Good. Yeah, it's like a little white bullet.
Did you do another one?
Yeah, I went for another one. Yeah.
Okay.
But then I was off on my days.
Better?
That one went better because I just laid there. But then I was missing one on the last day.
How many did you have to do?
12?
Damn,
Really?
it's a lot.
Has anybody ever had to do a semen sample?
No.
No. I mean, I practiced a bunch, but I've never actually, not professionally, no.
I found it surprisingly difficult to do.
Really?
Jizz?
I've never had to aim in a very specific.
Well, you're not living.
I've never had to complete that action
On a
and
woman's
make
tits.
sure. No.
How big of an area are we talking?
We're talking like that.
That's like,
think your urine sample little thing.
okay, like the same kind of cup.
Yeah.
So like about the size of the top of a can of beer.
Why
Yeah.
not just shove it in
I
there
did.
at the end?
What did you
I
step
did.
across the room and go for distance? What are you doing
No,
here?
it's more so like
Gonna do perfect
It's more so like okay. Now
This
imagine,
doesn't seem that hard.
Imagine you're masturbating. Okay.
Hold on. Got it.
All right. So imagine you're masturbating. What is a common direction?
This.
Would it help your story if I masturbated while you told it?
Yes.
Should I be thinking about him masturbating?
Okay.
already there.
Everybody is now.
Everyone imagine Bernie is masturbating.
Let's do it
Okay.
together, shall
So
Yuck.
Bernie is masturbating. Which direction would your penis normally be facing while
North.
you're masturbating?
Oh, wait, what?
Which
I
direct-
only masturbate into the sun.
Where is your penis pointing?
Away from my computer monitor. That's what I've learned. That's what
So
I've
when you're
learned more than
watching
anything
porn
else.
like over your shoulder?
I gotta think. It's really specific to me, though. I like to point directly at a McDonald's menu. That's what I like to do.
I can't finish unless there's a McDonald's menu.
I'm
I
gonna be
get it
staring at
right.
a Big Mac.
I like to try to finish the order and myself at the same time. It's really
it's a
fucking
race.
awesome.
It's a race.
Check
really
out.
Now your fucking penis is pointing up.
up-ish. I'm 46.
No,
Okay, it is above. It is usually above the 90-degree angle. Yes,
On a good day, yeah.
on a good day, Bernie's penis is facing above a 180-degree plane. You know, so to get into something, you got to get it to go down into the receptacle.
That's a good point.
Do a handstand.
So now you're making it even more complicated. Do you masturbate while you do a handstand?
It's cum. Just go.
Yeah, it's not gonna like pour out. It's not water.
It's goop.
yeah. So you go like this, and then boom, done.
It's like the where you take a bucket and you swing it over your head, it doesn't come out.
So
exactly
you're
like
saying
that.
just stick it on the cap and
Yeah.
just go
Yeah.
into it,
Where-
and then just really quick. Aha!
Yeah, wear it like a helmet, and you're done.
Okay.
you can lean
I didn't
as
do
well.
that.
You can,
I
like-
didn't do that. I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
do
and then
that.
the leaning is the obvious answer
I
here.
attempted to try to get it to
It's
go
like when
down
you try
into
to.
it.
It's like when you try to pee when you're erect. You kind of like lean.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's a great.
Yeah.
That's a great.
but it's
example.
super uncomfortable.
Dude, you're jerking off for a fucking semen sample. You're not jerking off because you were looking at a Big Mac.
You could also. You could also
Thanks for
go
speaking
on
my
your
language, guys.
You could go on your back and swing your legs over your head and just
just get that back there.
if you put the cup like by your ear, you go straight down.
But you even admit that when you have to pee with your dick down, that's an uncomfortable position. And normally when I'm masturbating, it's comfortable.
Wait, you pee with
Right,
your
but
dick?
this isn't a normal masturbation situation. You're not like. You're not like the mood didn't catch you.
Do you do
birds,
it at
one
home or
stone.
do you do it in the clinic?
I did it at home. And
You
then,
brought
had,
it in?
and then had to get it to the clinic, which is
Are
one of the
you-
most embarrassing things I've ever done is carrying a baggie.
Are you allowed to run red lights? You're like, okay, I'm in a hurry. I'm
There's
carrying
a timer.
semen.
The shit has a timer.
That'd be an hour?
I think it was shorter, they told me.
Dude, that'd be the one time if a cop pulled me over, they said, "Can I search the car?" I'd be like, "Be my guest, dude." Check that bag right there.
Dumb and dumber.
The place that I had to go drop it off, I also had to I couldn't just there was no bin to just put it in. I had to go sign in and just sit there in the waiting room with my little brown bag that's got my cum in it and just wait for them to call my name to come take my sample.
To come take it.
Anyways, that's
Can
me.
you
They're
just give it
used to
to a
it.
courier?
What's that?
Can you reverse?
Can you
reverse Postmates it?
That's a favor you don't want to ask.
Mate post.
Maybe a TaskRabbit that does that, right? That
Sounds about right.
Or-
Favor
or
DoorDash, they come toward
Fiverr.
they can do.
just do the Fiverr.
Is it Fiverr? Is that what do we have in Austin that's equivalent of that? Like
We have all of those.
we have TaskRabbit as well?
Yeah.
I guess I've just never used it.
Why didn't you just come there?
Yeah.
That's not what they told me to do.
I mean, but yeah, you can go there and just go to the fucking bathroom and squeeze one out.
I'm pretty sure I got my sample thing at a different location than where I was going to be turning
Or
it
you
in,
could jerk it while you're on the way there.
in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only time I've had to aim it into something was for 23andMe.
Pardon?
What?
Go on.
They give you a semen sample for 23andMe?
What are you supposed to do?
You
Spit.
No, I'm only kidding. But you know that someone's jizzed in one of those, though, right?
God.
Oh,
Yeah.
probably.
It's the same person who tried to pay their taxes with iTunes gift cards.
Yeah.
It probably has a lot of warning labels on it, like saliva only. I was amazed when I
not
had to
come.
fill that tiny little vial with saliva, how long it took me to do
Yeah.
that.
It was
I
a
was
lot.
thinking, oh, this is tiny little thing. And it's like spit.
You get tired of spitting.
No,
It's gross.
I just thought about a lemon.
You just thought about a lemon?
Think about eating a lemon right now.
Did nothing to me whatsoever.
Like you're biting into a lemon. Shut your eyes and bite the lemon.
Joe.
All right, imagine Bernie's masturbating, and then there's a lemon next to him.
Yeah, that's that.
like a Saturday night for me.
It wakes him back up because he's choking himself at the same time. It's got to have that lemon wedge in there.
They don't let you choke yourself at a McDonald's, dude. Don't be an asshole.
Wait, that's why you take your own belt.
you get thrown out. You gotta go to Burger King to just choke yourself.
Oh my god.
I went to the divorced dad's Burger King just the other day. The one, the sad one.
Did you see it?
It's so sad.
It's so
Where
true.
is the divorced dad's Burger King?
It is on. This is how he described it. That how sad it was. It's where all the divorced dads go.
Like if you go there,
Weeknight scene.
it's just like middle-aged single dudes who they don't have their kid that night. So they're just sitting there eating Burger King, and it's the whole restaurant is that.
It is the weirdest Burger King I've ever seen because it doesn't have a drive-through. So it's like a commitment to go. You got to like stop the car and go and get in. It's at 30. It's on 35th Street,
Yes.
right at I don't even know what the cross section is, but
Jefferson.
close to Mopac. It's right there. So I went there because I wanted a chicken sandwich. I got a chicken sandwich, Gavin.
Really wanted it.
So I stopped and got it. Actually, I have a pregnant wife, so we go wherever the fuck she wants to go to eat at this point. She's like 2 months away at this point. Less than that. So about a month and 3 weeks to the expected due date. End of August is what we're looking at. So.
Speaking of everything covered in shit, that's gonna be your life soon.
Yeah, man. I can't wait. I'm so excited to have a baby. Yeah. I'm so excited. Boy, there's a lot of stuff that's changed. Like, we went out to go look for baby stuff. She made me wait until, like, right at this point to, like, go out and get stuff or start buying stuff from Amazon. And so we just went to the store. It's crazy the fucking shit they have now. Like the little like cradles that babysit in, the little rockers. They used to be the crank spring that would rock back and forth. Now they're on these like robotic arms.
They're like it's almost like the same mechanic of a merry-go-round where it goes up and down. And as it goes up and down, it also makes that motion.
Yeah,
so
it's like the Harry Potter VR ride in your house. It's
great.
just like moving around.
they're so good.
You can control it with an app. Although I gotta admit, I'm not paranoid about a lot of stuff, but I don't want to. I'm gonna like tone down my Wi-Fi, I actually have already because while Ashley's pregnant, it's like I don't want her like using her phone like sitting on her stomach and stuff like that. And it's like this thing. It's like the reason that I didn't want to get it was because you can control it with your phone like an app, but that just means it's broadcasting Bluetooth, and I don't feel like everything has to do that.
That's like the poo thing.
Is it? It's just everywhere and everyone's
everywhere.
subjected to it?
Yeah.
You're
that's
getting,
what I
you're
was gonna
getting
say. It's
now
like,
from everywhere.
even if you turn off your Wi-Fi, what else is out there?
Your neighbor's Wi-Fi.
Yeah, beaming that.
What's the kerfuffle about 5G? Like, people are worried we're rolling that out too fast and we haven't done enough testing on 5G and its impact on people.
I think it stems from one study that said that, and I'm not trying to downplay it because it's actually kind of serious. I believe it was NOAA or the National Weather Service who said that 5G operates on the same frequency that they use for satellite imaging to detect water vapor in the air. And that it could reduce the accuracy of hurricane tracking in coastal areas.
I think the NOAA is the people who make all the nautical charts, too,
Yes.
if I recall correctly. Yeah.
Yeah, we just shouldn't have it then.
But it's not clear if that's actually the case or not.
But at the very least, from a health standpoint, we're already, it sounds like, operating in that bandwidth. We're already broadcasting at those frequencies, right?
It would
For
be a lot
5G?
more dense, though.
It'd be a lot more dense. Yeah. I think it's Europe that's raising the kerfuffle about it, right? That they're worried about.
Oh,
They've
I
always
heard about the U.S.
Europe's amazing, though, because they're like, we've had the civilization for thousands of years and we didn't have this stuff before. So they're always very reluctant to put something out, deploy something without investigating it first and
Or
giving
without
it
letting
due
Americans
diligence.
invent it first.
Coming from the country that won't let go of Fahrenheit.
I'm saying it's a good thing. I'm saying it's a good thing. We don't need to roll this stuff out so fast. Let's take it fucking easy.
No, let's roll it out. I need faster internet now. I don't have
How is Elon Musk going to put 4,000 satellites or however many he's going to fucking put in orbit? And there's got to be a plan for getting them out of orbit, right?
You just put them back into the atmosphere.
Where India blew up that satellite, they were testing their satellite blowing up abilities.
Is that the one that hit Sandra Bullock?
No, but it's like they're having that problem where it's like the debris they thought would decay.
It's everywhere.
I'm talking about the movie Gravity.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Thank you.
It's the same issue where that satellite debris they thought would decay in its orbit and burn up in the atmosphere hasn't done it yet. It's just orbiting up there.
Can't they just send them out further away, out of range?
What's that?
But it's debris.
You gotta get through the debris. See
Was it like,
Wall-E?
instead of blowing shit up, just fire it away from Earth?
No, I think what they're doing is now people are showing they can blow up each other's satellites.
Right.
That's what these tests are, right, Gus? They're
Yeah.
shows of force. They're the new launching the missile over someone else's country
Or blowing up an island in the Pacific.
or blowing up an island in the Pacific.
Who is it? Some country. I only read this recently.
it's France.
Some country. No. Some country in the Pacific Ocean. Their
France.
flag looks like the American flag, but it has black stars on it to denote every island the U.S. blew up through atomic testing.
Really?
That's dark.
That's a dark thing to have for your
That's
representation.
crazy.
That's a
And
commitment.
I forget how many stars it is, but I want to say it's like 10 or 11. Let me look it up.
No shit. Holy cow.
It's a bit of a burn.
But that would be an awesome unlock in Sea of Thieves to have that flag on your button. That'd be
No
really
one's
cool.
going to play Sea of Thieves. No one's playing Sea of Thieves with you.
You'd be surprised.
No one's
You'd be
playing
surprised.
with you.
Andrew Pant and I are playing.
You can't anymore.
You got
him banned.
You got him banned.
No, he's only 24 hours. He's good. He's
That's
back.
all. That's all anybody gets from playing Sea of Thieves with you. They get banned.
So Matt Bragg also plays Sea of Thieves, and I stopped him in the hallway over in the Achievement Hunter building. It's like, that sounds weird to say that, but where they work, and I stopped him over there in the hallway and I said, "Hey, I'm thinking about starting. They have these clubs on Xbox. I'm thinking about starting an official Rooster Teeth Sea of Thieves club. What do you think?" He goes, "Okay." like Matt Bragg was like completely nonplussed. He's like, "Yeah, go for it if you want to do that." That's it.
It's the flag of the Bikini Atoll. They have white stars
I was gonna say.
Black
for their
stars.
Yeah.
existing flags and the 5 black stars for their destroyed islands.
They should have had gaps where the 5 stars used to be.
It
Wow.
was really poorly designed.
It does. It looks like something that's like a 8-bit like MS Paint kind of a thing is what it looks like.
Well, it's not a real flag. It's a
I know it's not a real flag.
digital representation of the flag.
I don't know, but still, I can look at other countries' flags and it doesn't look like somebody did it in their spare time.
There it is.
Yeah, that's not very well designed.
Like a lot of
How would
other
you
countries'
design the
flags
flag,
don't
John?
have
I don't know.
standardized
Well,
like sans serif text on it.
A lot of flags are terrible. I think I saw a video a couple of years ago where someone just went through and critiqued flags. It was like, all flags are terrible.
I memorized a lot, and I've lost it, but I memorized almost every country's flag in the world before we went on the Amazing Race.
Are you wearing overalls?
Came in handy. No, I'm not wearing overalls. I have an iPad on my lap.
It's your little pad. It's your little
I have
pad.
an iPad on my lap.
I feel like most seasons of The Amazing Race, in the last episode, there's a challenge that's a wrap up of all the places they've been. Like,
No, that's 100%. That's always the last episode.
not this season.
Yeah.
They didn't have that in this most current season. And they finished. I was like, they were running for the end. I'm like, well, they still got to do the thing where they put in order all the countries they visited and everything. And then they just got to the mat. And I was like, oh, I think they just started doing that this season.
Do you know that that's why Ashley and I are totally fine with where we placed in the Amazing Race, because we knew on the last episode we would have lost that day.
Yeah, that challenge is nuts.
Yeah, because we would have saved me for the memory challenge, but the early challenge in that episode required height. And Ashley, we know Ashley would have done that challenge, and she would have been like Tyler and
That was the jumping off the building.
that was
one,
jumping
right?
off the
Yeah.
building, jumping out and reaching. And Matt, who's the dancer, super tall guy to begin with, and incredible leg strength, jumped and was able to grab the ticket. They kept moving in if you didn't reach it, but you had to reset for this like jump,
take
bungee
time.
jump off the building. And Tyler and Cole's mom, Sherry, they had to do it like 2 or 3 times, and they just never caught up. And we know for a fact Ashley would have had to do that first. So.
And she's small.
Yeah, I mean, she's great. She did great in the dancing challenge, but she would have had a tougher time grabbing that thing for sure. Tyler and Corey got second place in.
Spoiler.
Ooh, yeah, probably spoiler. Is it? It's been more than a week.
Last Wednesday.
All right.
You're probably good.
Yeah.
The people they should have seen it by now. No one's saying
Congratulations to them. They had a really good race, and but it was one of those seasons where it's like a lot of people who have been on a lot of different shows, and the Afghanimals. They had been on The Amazing Race. I think this was their third or fourth time.
This was their third time.
Crazy. Good team, though. They're really entertaining on TV.
But they're very hot and cold.
They
like,
are,
like
but
when
they're
it
always
comes to
entertaining.
when it comes to challenges, not like
Yeah.
a personality thing. Right? Just like sometimes they're just nailing all of them, and then sometimes like something just trips them up.
Ashley and I had a weird thing on that too, where there's two kinds of contests. There's detours and roadblocks. And detours are where you both have to do it and you choose between two things. You do this or you do that. And there's kind of clues to kind of indicate what they are. There's a roadblock where one person on the team does it and the other person, once you commit to that person does it, the other person just has to sit there and watch them.
And they can't say anything.
There was an agonizing one this season. I think it was the first elimination where a guy who made it to the end and just couldn't complete the roadblock.
Yeah.
You know this one where he's trying to get up that thing? And
The slope that was slippery.
yeah, that was it was honestly heartbreaking to watch that guy not be able to do that. That sucked. But Ashley and I, whenever we worked alone in roadblocks, we always came out of that challenge ahead. Like we made up spots. We either came out second or first out of every single one of those. And whenever we did a challenge together, Detour, we always dropped places almost every time. It was a weird thing. Like we talked about it for a while afterwards. Like, why is that?
You're better alone than together.
Were you happy with how it was edited?
Totally.
Because I feel like that's the biggest risk, is that you never know
How you're
what
how
they'll
you're
show and what they
presented.
won't. That's
You know-
like a fear.
You know, my big decision was for deciding to do the show was because I was worried about giving up the editing and let somebody else edit, because I know how television editing works, especially when you have hundreds of hours of footage at the very least for every episode, because it's 11 teams times 24 hours, and so we knew there was a ton of footage, and they just they got to go with basically what the best story is. And we were watching previous seasons of The Amazing Race, and they went into a park, and I want to say it was Germany. Ashley keeps saying it was in Japan. Anyway, they went to a public park, and they had statues in the park that were nude statues. And they blurred the nudity on the statues in the park. And I thought, okay, if they're going to blur nudity on statues, they're not going to try to catch me with my pants down.
No.
They're not going to try to do that. So
They'll hold that for
I felt
themselves.
comfortable. And the moment we started, I felt totally comfortable with them, because some of those people have been doing that for like 13 years.
Yeah, I think they largely also try to position that show as like something a family can watch together.
It's probably
It's
the
not
most. The other
controversial
thing
or
too, it's like
anything.
one of the. It's probably the single most respected reality show in terms of the television industry. Like, there's a reason why it's won so many Emmys. It's like they have a lot of respect for the show they make.
Well, even from a production standpoint,
Don't know how
do
the
you
fuck they.
organize
I was on
all
the
of
show. I have
that?
no idea how the fuck they make that show. I don't know how they do it. It's like those cameramen and the audio people. They're like Olympic athletes, man. They're like running around with like 40 pounds on their shoulder. No big deal. They can outrun us easily.
And they do.
Yeah, they do. Easily they outrun us. Like, we tell them, they say, where are you going? We say, we're going down about 2 blocks, and then we're going to take a right. It's like, I'll see you there. Takes the camera, puts it down, pew, takes off like a rocket. It's like, what the fuck, dude? We're like dying in the Colombian heat. But it was amazing. And they're all super dedicated. All super dedicated to it as a show, but also super dedicated to it as a contest as well. Like, I guess it's probably, I always assumed it was because game shows are under such scrutiny in the U.S., and I guess technically at its core, it is a game show because there's a prize. They take the competition part of it very seriously, like the objectivity and the fairness of the competition. They take it very, very, very seriously.
Right.
Got nothing but good things to say about the people that work on that show.
I don't. So
People that work at Rooster Teeth are assholes.
I
Those
think
people
I've
are
watched every episode. I think I've watched every season of Amazing Race, but one of the couples from this season, Colin and Christy, they'd been on previously.
Yeah.
And I don't remember when they were on before. I want to go back and rewatch
was a
it.
while ago.
Honestly, it was a long time ago.
They went deep.
But they talked like one of the recurring storylines for Colin was how much he had changed since the first time he was on. And whenever they would show clips from his first time on, he was just like super angry, losing his shit all the time. And this time he just seemed like the most calm, even keel guy. Like he found inner peace. And he's just like, a couple times he's like, I'm just really embarrassed. I won't go back and I watch that footage, and it's
Aww.
like I would just lose my cool. He's like, that's not me anymore. And he's just like so calm. Like
It's cool. It's really interesting how people change.
Yeah, even when shit was going bad this season, he's
down
just
to the
like,
core, people can change.
yeah, he was absolutely totally. It seemed like a totally different person.
So next week is RTX, or this week.
Yep.
The next podcast is RTX.
Yeah.
wanna-
This coming week, Friday.
You want to
Everybody's
do
coming to town.
You want to do a game on that podcast?
Oh, yeah? Do you want to do
Is
a
this-
game
is
on the
this Saw?
podcast? What?
Do you want to play a game?
Do you want to play a game on the next podcast?
I'll play a game.
It's always fun to play.
Are we playing a game?
Josh and Gabby, why don't you jump on and say hi? Because you guys are in town. You see, John was talking around the edges of like people who are in town. But people know Josh and Gabby. No, get up here. Sorry, we have a little sidecar here.
where
Can
the
say,
microphone is?
Come
say hello.
hi.
Come say hi.
Say good day, mate.
Josh and Gabby, who were among the first ambassadors ever for RTX. I'm not
Good day.
sure if we're doing that program this year. I'm not involved with it anymore. I'm not sure if they've continued the ambassador program, but you guys were the ambassadors for
Australia.
For Australia,
Yeah,
for RTX Sydney, right?
We were the first. It was like we were like your guinea pigs. You were like, we're gonna trial run something and we're gonna use you guys.
That's how we
'cause-
describe you as guinea pigs. Yeah.
And obviously, we
Labyrinth.
broke the system for everybody,
Yeah.
and now no one gets to do it.
No,
So
people
you
have
can
done
thank
it
us.
since. Come on, get out of here.
No, yeah, they did it last year.
So it's a group
So if we
where
don't do it this year,
Yeah.
that group broke it.
yeah, we wanted people from the community to have a chance to like come on and host. And that year, you guys were hosting like everything that we did from like center stage and streams and stuff like that.
We did the interstitials for Twitch as well. Like when they needed filler for people doing stuff on stage, they were like, get the Australians to run around and like interview people.
Yeah.
And as somebody who's never interviewed a person in my life, I bricked it. I was like,
Oh my god.
I know it's not easy.
You've probably watched many interviews.
yeah,
so I'm
that
sure you
that
can-
was
you
it. That
can
was it.
figure
I'm like,
out,
I know how an interview is meant to happen,
Yeah.
but whether or not I can make it happen, let's see. We'll see how it goes.
It's like watch. That's how you learn to ride a bike. You watch someone ride a bike.
Yeah.
And then you do it.
And then I get on the bike and I
Fall along.
stack.
Yeah, you got to fall off, and then you figure out what you did wrong.
We didn't have time to fall off though. They
Something
were
I've
like,
learned
do
about
it.
interviews is, and it's tough when you're at an event. We dealt with this when we did E3. Is you got to put in prep work. Like you just can't like go in and chit chat. You've got to know who the person is, what they're doing, what they're working on, what they've done in the past. But then you also have to do all that prep work and have all your questions and then listen to what they're saying and throw all that stuff out as soon as you get a
Right.
topic of conversation that they're talking about. Otherwise, if you're just like, next
Next,
question,
next, right.
yeah, you just have to have a normal
Or
conversation.
you have to structure that information you have in a way that flows into the conversation.
Yeah. But you guys just got back from E3, right?
Yeah. Oh, I did. He didn't get to go.
Oh,
Sorry.
you didn't go? You were doing were you doing the official cosplay for Gearbox,
But
right?
yeah, I was the official Tyrene Calypso cosplayer, along with Dan, who couldn't be here today. He was the Troy Calypso cosplayer.
He's
for-
locked on a plane.
Was it you who stole Greg Miller's badge?
No.
Please.
I saw him in the street and I thought about rolling him just because it was Greg Miller, but I didn't actually.
Rolling him.
Do you not say rolling here?
No.
You get rolled.
No, yeah, it's like, what does that mean in Australia? Because here it'd be
It's
like
like
you
getting
mugged him.
mugged.
Yeah, you mugged him.
okay.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
roll somebody
Yeah,
though.
you rolled him. Yeah. So don't anybody roll
roll
Greg
people.
Miller in
Yeah.
public.
Sorry.
But
You can role play Greg
Gabby
Miller.
knows him, so she can do that.
Yeah, we're gonna hire some Greg Miller role plays for
Roleplay.
E3 next year.
Gabby could pass off as Greg.
Yeah.
So Gabby, you're one of those people I know who's had made the transition from having an online pseudonym to now. Everyone I know refers to you as Gabby. Are you going more by Gabby now, and not going by Lucky as much?
I took the Iron Man approach to online aliases. A lot of cosplayers start in the community and they're like, I don't want people to know who I am. I don't want them to know my name so that they can't find me, kind of thing. And that's fair. It's like
Gotcha.
a safety thing. Whereas I was kind of like, I have this online persona, but at the same time, I'm like, it's always just been who I am anyway. So I'm like, if you want to call me by my name, like, go for it. That's totally fine. So I was just, I came out and I'm like, I'm Gabby. I'm also Lucky. Cool. You figured that out. Great. Let's keep going.
Yeah, Gavin was super smart about that when he started out because his online name was Gavino.
Yep. You would never know what
You would never crack that code.
Airtight.
stuck an O on it.
Never
Josh
be
is
able to
this
figure it
funky
out.
dragon. So there you go.
All right, guys.
One
Well,
of the Xbox Lives.
welcome to Austin. Welcome
Thank you.
back to Austin. Hope you guys have a good time at RTX this weekend. You have almost
we
no
will.
responsibilities, right? Do you have a panel?
We've got one panel. It's on the Sunday if people want to come see it, but no pressure.
So just you can enjoy it.
Yeah.
A lot of cold beer, barbecue, stuff like
Keen.
that.
Excited.
Yeah. You left winter in Australia to come to summer in Texas.
so sweaty.
God bless
Come
you.
to the sun. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks,
you.
guys.
And thanks everybody for watching. We're gonna wrap up here. We're
Done. All right.
Done.
Bye.
All right, we'll see you guys at RTX. Bye. Hey everyone, thanks for watching this video on YouTube. We appreciate you watching, and we have a lot more videos just like it you can watch. You can click on those videos down below. You can also like this video, which I would highly recommend you do because then Gavin can eat. And you can also subscribe to the Rooster Teeth channel, and then you'll get notified anytime we have a new video just like this.
Bet you're not going to do it, though.
Yeah, I bet you're not, chicken.